Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're gonna be discussing movies that will work well as double features. That used to be like a thing back in the day. I don't know if they still do more double feature movies, but whatever, who cares? It's my blog, and I want to talk about this. So yeah, I think the two movies that will work very well together, back to back, is Flashdance and Black Swan. And let me give you the reasoning behind it. Like Flashdance is that the girl, she eventually like joins the ballet and stuff, and then but then Black Swan is a story of a traditional dancer who feels threatened by like the Footsie Lucy natural dancer. So you could almost see it as like a weird spirit of the successor to Flashdance, where it's the traditional ballerina feeling threatened by the girl that came, by the maiden that came out of like Gogo or something. But if you speak Spanish, you get what I meant. Moving along. Another one that will work well, two movies that will work well together is Tom Cruise, World of the Worlds, and The Edge of Tomorrow. Because in World of the Worlds, I don't want to spoil the ending, but spoiler alert, the aliens die because of COVID or something. I don't know. And then the issue tomorrow is Tom Cruise Groundhog Day fighting aliens over and over. So you could say that the first part is Tom Cruise dealing with the aliens the first time, and then in the issue the tomorrow are the aliens that didn't die from the infection. So then from like human cooties. So then it's just the war against the aliens continuing. So then he eventually joins the army in order to go fight aliens. So plus, both aliens are like hiding on the ground, and even his co-star over here in the movie poster looks kind of blonde, so you could see them as father and daughter fighting aliens. But yeah, well, they're romantic interest in like the age of tomorrow. But so never mind that nonsense. The point is that both movies will work well together, and they're loosely tied by the fact that they had the same actor, and Tom Cruise fighting aliens. Whoop de doo. Another hilarious double feature is Armageddon and Deep Impact. Armageddon, I mean, both of the movies are about meteors about to hit the Earth, but in Deep Impact, as shown, and both came out in the same year, but as spoiled by the movie poster of Deep Impact, in Deep Impact, the meteor wins. So you could say that in Armageddon, they defeated the first meteor, and then like his wife or brother or cousin came back for revenge. And then this time in Deep Impact, the meteor won. Succeeded and were like wiping out most of the human race. So then, you can see them like together. Like first it happened Armageddon, but then another meteor that was hiding in the shadow of the other meteor. Oh, well, on the first one they sent oil drillers as astronauts, and the other one they sent astronauts instead of oil drillers. Yeah, like in the first movie they said astronauts instead of oil drillers, and in the second one they said oil drillers instead of astronauts. So they work well together. Yeah, because in Deep Impact, the fact that they didn't, it shows what happens when you don't send all drillers to space, because they did a bad job at destroying the meteor. People die, so like almost everyone died. Well, I think you're confusing Deep Impact with Knowing, where literally everyone died. I don't remember. I think everyone dies in Deep Impact. And you'll be like, stop spoiling the ending of the movie. And then I'll be like, I'm not spoiling anything. The movie poster spoils the ending of the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. Just look at the movie poster. You maniacs. Why would you spoil the ending of your movie? The movie poster. Shows the meteor hitting the earth. Moving along. Here's another fun movie combination. We have Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, and then we have The Black Swan, which is a movie about killer bees. So then you got the birds and the bees. Look at with your You can watch it with your child that doesn't know about the bird. Who asks, "Mom, can you tell me about the birds and the bees?" So if you want to end that our conversation immediately, you can watch both movies back to back, so you don't have to tell the kid about about like the miracle of life or some nothing. Oh, you want to know about the birds and bees? All right. Whoa, no. I'll show you the birds and the bees. Alright, funny say. Moving along. Another good movie combination is I Am Legend and I Robot. Why did Will Smith star in both I movies? Whatever. Like you could say that like in the first movie, Will Smith causes like the end of, I think he caused the end of the world with his anti-cancer medication, right? He was the one that made the medicine, or was it somebody else? It's not very clear. His wife, I think. I forget. Oh, is it spam? Whatever. I'm starting over. Moving along. So you could say that like the first movie is post-apocalyptic, and then Will Smith in one of in the original ending of the movie, he survived the zombie apocalypse. He doesn't self-sacrifice, die in the end. So you could almost say that like after he cured like the weird zombie monster pandemic, the world was rebuilt using artificial intelligence, and which would explain why Will Smith's character Spooner in the movies being like saying, "I can't be that unlucky." When like the robots start attacking him and stuff, cause he's in another like I'm gonna get killed. Yeah, he's been into hordes. First a horde of zombies, and then a horde of like killer robots. So that's why he talks about like the terrible rotten luck that he has in those films. So yeah, so you can almost watch them back to back. First the post-apocalyptic one, and then the world getting rebuilt by robots, which would explain why what it almost looks like they're more robots than actual humans, and it makes perfect sense if you look at it from an I Legend point of view. Like there was a massive zombie outbreak that wiped out the majority of the population, and then they had to rebuild civilization with robots, and it makes perfect sense because reclaiming planet Earth is a lot safer to send robot scouts out there to like defeat to like capture the zombie people and cure them than to send flesh and blood humans to deal with that problem. Like another good double feature movie could be RoboCop and Chappie. Cause RoboCop is about making a human more robot-like, while Chappie is trying to make a robot more human. And they're both police officer type of robots, and also Chappie at the end he has his own 209 type of final boss. So then both movies kind of like inverse mirror each other, and I feel that they will work well together. It's and they both are like terrible, like both of them live in like the worst city out there. Oh, and Chappie like RoboCop also gets a royal beating, and he even I think they even like saw off one of his arms. The same thing that while Officer Murphy he gets his arm blown off. So yeah, like both of them work well together. Another good double feature could be Dumb and Dumber and The Mask. I mean, the Jim Carrey I mean, both of the plots are driven by their horniness for a specific chick. While yeah, that they just met 5 seconds ago. So then one of them is like chasing after a redhead, while the mask guy is like hot for a blonde chick. So then and also like their personality types are like very similar, mostly because it's Jim Carrey, and also when he has his weird karate fantasy, you could also perceive it as a precursor before he puts on the mask, where he's just fooling around in his inner world. So you could almost say that it's the same character from Dumb and Dumber that got a banker job with his friend, and then the mask happened. Because they were all constantly saying in the Dumb and Dumber movie that they wanted to move out of the city, so then they moved to a bigger city. They got boring banker jobs, and then the mask happened. While at this time, and also both of them are in love with a woman that technically that has another man, that like he's trying to take the woman that belongs to another guy in both situations, because you only find out later on that the redhead has a husband, and in the mask, the blonde chick is a girlfriend of Dorian, or the mobster guy. So then, yeah, he has a thing for women that belong that are not single. It's a very specific type. Whatever. I only like her because she belongs to so. They only like her because she belongs to someone else. Like another good double feature idea could be the Phantom of the Opera and the Great Gatsby. While the Phantom of the Opera is trying to woo his girlfriend, like both of them, both the Phantom and the other guy, are in love with a woman that technically already has a romantic interest. In her case, Raoul, and the other chick is married to some guy when Gatsby crossed out of the sewer hole wherever he came from. And they both have like a Persian sidekick, but not in, but only in the play, not in the actual movie. That's kind of like the Persian character is biologically fused with Madame Geary in the Phantom of the Opera, in Gustave Leroux's version. But I'm not talking about the books. I haven't read. I read the Phantom of the Opera. I haven't read the Great Gatsby. I should get around to it, but I'll deal with it when I deal with it. I had too many projects juggling about it, and I can't be reading if I'm doing this blog thing. Whatever. So one is trying to woo the girlfriend. One is trying to woo the maiden with music and gaslighting and like how and like helping her in career and like murdering all of her music competition. While the other one, the Great Gatsby, is trying to get his girlfriend back using his beauty and most importantly his bling bling and his money. So yeah, so the one that's actually you could say that the one that you could almost say that both of them are like the Phantom of the Opera. He came back for Christine after a while, and then he got himself a plastic surgery. He stopped singing, and then he be like, the only thing that women actually care about is beauty and money. And he was right, at least as far as the Great Gatsby is concerned, because he was he was very successful in getting the girl back, kinda. Cause they couldn't give him the happily ever after ending, cause it's bad, cause it was like the 1920s, and that wasn't a socially acceptable type of thing that a bootlegger could get a happy ending. Whatever. Moving along. The other two movies that will work well as double feature is Dragonheart and Reign of Fire. Like in Dragonheart, there's a knight that befriends the last dragon, and then instead of murdering it, because the knight he had been going on a dragon killing spree, but then he becomes friends with like the last dragon. And in Reign of Fire, the dragons make a comeback and destroy everything in like the modern day. So you could say that dragon that the because the Dragonheart guy didn't kill the last dragon, then Reign of Fire happened. Because he should have wiped those dangerous dragons off the face of the earth, so that they multiply like on underground. And you'd be like, oh, but the last dragon is male and all of that. And then I'd be like, yeah, but the reptiles that when there's not like a female or a male nearby, they change gender, and then they just lay female clones on themselves. Like life finds a way. And in Reign of Fire, life found a way to extinct humans. So yeah, you can watch them back to back and say, oh, because this idiot didn't kill the last dragon, now we have Reign of Fire. In medieval times, because obviously it probably took like 500 years for like the dragon population to recover their original numbers after being at the brink of extinction. And you could almost use the movie Reign of Fire as like a hopeful story about a story about an endangered species that was able to make a comeback and then kill humans. Whatever. Moving along. Like another good movie combination. It could be Liam Neeson, The Gray, and Ice Road. Mostly because it's just Liam Neeson in like a snowy area, and first he goes off and murders a bunch of wolves, and then he becomes a trucker once he gets his will to live back. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Liam Neeson in the snow. They could wear, and both of them shoot and stuff. Good sharpshooters and all of that. So they almost seem like the same character, but like in a different snowy area situation. Another good double feature combo could be vertical and rear view window. Cause in vertical it starts with him saying that he gains vertigo because he like fell off a high area and now he's afraid of heights. And the rear view window it starts with the investigator reporter guy that he broke his leg because he fell off a high area. So you could say that, and it happened first. It starts with a broken leg, and then he breaks his other leg after falling off a window. So you could almost say that rear view window is happened after vertical or before vertical. It works well either way because he fell off a high area for not minding his business. But then again, this was the time before like the internet, and back then there were only like two channels. What the hell is he gonna do other than people watch? I don't know. I don't know, or maybe do funny things with like his hot girlfriend. I don't know. I just feel like he should, instead of looking at the neighbor, he should have been like doing hot stuff with like his hot girlfriend that was totally into him, whether that makes sense or not, because it makes no sense to me, but whatever. I guess it was considered, this guy was considered charming and handsome back in the day, even though he looks like somebody's grandpa, at least in rear view window. Whatever. Everyone's got a type, and this one is in mine. All right. I guess we're now done with all of, like, we're done now with all of the double feature suggestions. I hope you'll find these 10 suggestions of mine amusing. Bye bye and God bless.